Hello Standard 7, welcome to English class by Mamta Shetty. Today's video is the second part of 2.1 from a railway carriage. In the part 1 we have already completed all these first three paragraphs. Right? The first paragraph consisted of a boy sitting in a carriage and he is having a glimpse of all the scenes which he passes by. He talks about the bridges, houses, hedges, ditches, right? And also about the meadows and the horses and the cattle, right? In the second paragraph, he talks about the hills and the plains, right? Let me make the video fast little. Yes, we don't want the meaning here. So in the second paragraph, he talks about the sides of the hills and the plain, and he also talks about the painter stations which are moving as within the wink of an eye. In the third paragraph, he talks about a boy or a child who is climbing the tree to get the blueberries, and then he talks about a tramp, a beggar who is standing and gazing, and then he talks about the green strings, about these all daisies which will be collected together to form the garland. Right now we are going for the last paragraph, and that is about the cart. So here is a cart run away in the road. Wait, let me go. So the next paragraph, the last paragraph of this poem is about a cart which runs away in a road. It's lumping along. See, you will find that, right? He is talking about this cart. This farmer, he is taking the grains in his cart, yes, and it is been ridden by the animal. So what he is saying, here is a cart which runs away in the road. It's moving, lumping along. Lumping along means you can say moving with difficulties. Why these animals are moving with difficulties? Because the man is also there, and this load is there, load of grains. Where is this grain taken? This grain is taken to the mill. Right? And then there is a river, he says. And this all glance, this all scenes, he sees once, and then it is gone forever. See, the man is moving, this animal is moving with a difficulty. He is taking this grain to this mill, and then he says that there is a river, and each of these sight I see, and they all are moved within a blink of an eye. It gleams, just a one scene, when for a short time he sees this all, and then it is gone forever. Forever means these scenes are not going to be returned back. So this poem is a poet has written when he was experiencing from a journey in a train. So here the poet describes about the train journey, what all scenes you see when you are inside the railway carriage, right? So very beautiful poem, just go through it, read it up. Yes, so we are going for the exercise also, English workshop. First question is you have to read the poem aloud with the proper rhythm, and what does the rhythm remind you of, that also you have to say. It's a self study. Second one is about a rhyming words. You have to find the rhyming words from the each stanza. What is rhyming word? Rhyming words are the words which have the same ending. You can see witches, ditches, battle, cattle. You have to just remember that I am here when they ask you the rhyming word. It is not internal rhyming. It is an external rhyming. Each end of the line should be seen, not in the middle. Right? Like you can see that witches is the end of the second line. Right? Ditches is the end of the fourth line. So end word you are going to see. So witches, ditches, battle, cattle. These are the rhyming word from the first paragraph. Always remember that you have to see the external rhyming words, not the internal rhyming ones. Now we go for the second stanza. Plain, rain. Again, three words are there. I, buy. You are not going to write plain again, rain again. No, three together. Third one. Scrambles, brambles. Gaze, dice, daisies. Yes, gaze, daisies. Fourth stanza. Road, load. River, ever. So these are the rhyming word of the poem. Now the questions. Write the following. the sights seen through a railway carriage mentioned in the first stanza, only in the first stanza. So you get bridges, houses, hedges, ditches, meadows, horses and cattle. Only from the first stanza they have asked. Right? So you are also going to write from the first stanza. Now the sights mentioned in the second stanza. Second stanza, what you saw? Hills and plains and then the painted station. Only these three things are there in the second one. In the third stanza, which are the scenes mentioned? A child gathering brambles, a tramp and green grass. So these are the three questions. Now think and answer. Why are the sights said to fly? Why we say the sights are flying? Actually the train is moving. Why? Because it gives an idea of the great speed of the train, because the train is moving in a great speed, and that's why we feel like that the outer scene is flying. Does the last line make you happy or sad? Why? Right? So it makes us sad. Why? Because we will not be able to see the sights again and again, the beautiful scenes outside the train which we want to see again, but we won't be able to see. Right? Now this fourth question in your textbook, it's the fifth one, sixth one. These are the writing skill and some of the sentences and phrases. It involves the grammatical part. List the lines that begin with here or and here. Yes, here or and here or and that. You have to pick it up. These phrases and sentences tell us about the things that appear one after the another as the carriage moves. So can we tell which one are closer to the train and which ones are at a distance? How? So which is close and which is far, near or which is far away? Here means near and there means far. Yes or no? The difference. Can you say it? Here, keep the book here. Keep the book there. Here means nearby and there means far away. This is the difference between here and there. Here is a child, means here. Here is a tram, near to the train. Here is a cart, it's near to the train. And here is a mill. This sentence says that it is closer to the train or near to the train. These here words, it says us that it is very near. Now the sentence or the lines or the phrases which says there. And there is the green, continue, and there is a river. This says that it's a far away, it is in a distance from the train. Whenever we have to say something about the distant thing, we use there. When we talk about something near, we say it is here. Now this question, you have to read the following, right? Let me pause it up. This question is 6 questions. Actually here it is 5th. In your textbook it is 6th. Read the following. Charging along like troops in a battle. I have already described to you when the word like comes, which figure of speech it is. I think so. We have completed it in the part 1, I think so. Unit, right? Unit, that is simile, comparison, like. Charging along like troops in a battle. Same way, comparison it is a fly as thick as driving rain. This like, as, these are the words which are used for comparing, right? So now, fly as thick as a driving rain. Using your imagination, you have to give more example of such type of words, or you can make your own sentences using the word like or using the word as dash as. And this is one form of comparison. The evening twilight is like a burning flame, right? It's a comparison. Like word is then a comparing between the evening twilight and the roses in my garden are as red as blood. The roses is compared to the red color of a blood. Comparison between roses and the blood. So you understood like and as. Understood this? It's a form of a comparison, and which figure of speech is used? Simile. I have already completed this simile figure of speech in the Unit 1 first poem. Here I end the workshop. the question number 7 in your book, that is, write about the sight you may see from a bus or an aeroplane. You can use it or you can write it in the form of a short poem, is a self-study. You have to write yourself. Here we end the 2.1 poem. Read the poem and complete the exercise. Thank you.